flying out.
Cósmico que nos sostiene, escondido en el ladito del corazón que mantiene. Amar un nidito cósmico que nos sostiene, vibrando, creando en el ladito del corazón que mantiene. Textimuyo en el ladito del corazón que mantiene. El ritmo dejado del universo sinceraré. Ay, es mi madre, universo puro, amo sinceraré. Ay, osquita shamuriri. Ay, osquita shamuriri. Ay, osquita shamuriri. Pinta, pinta, pintará medicina. Pinta, pinta, pintará medicina. Osquita shamuriri, ay osquita shamuriri, ay osquita shamuriri, cura curará medicina, pinta pinta pintará medicina. Sinchia puwaira ikarururu kencakui. Itiwan sinchia puwaira ikarururu kencakui. Hirando hirando waira ikarururu kencakui. Sinchia puwaira ikarururu kencakui. Ayos kekurandera curando, curando chakruna suno pinta senchi amaru. Curando, curando chakruna suno pinta senchi amaru. Sanandala all'istante a mia he curandero. Ambiwasca chakro panga a mia he curandero. Ambiwasca chakro panga a mia he curandero. Alabandala mi señor, alabandala mi señor, alabandala mi señor. Hoy aparece en la flor, hoy aparece en la flor. Alabandala mi señor, alabandala mi señor, alabandala mi señor. Hoy aparece en la flor, hoy aparece en la flor.
If you have substantial experience of life, when I say substantial, for most of us one is not enough. When we're reminded that there has been a substantial experience of life, going through the same game over and over and over again, then you will not long for immortality. You will want to see define boundaries. There is something here which will not settle for anything less than the boundless.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. This video is going to be short. I want to do videos every day, but how I want to do them, I'm going to do a slight reading, and then we'll build on what was read. Yesterday, just to give an example or to give the foundation of the conversation. Yesterday, I was building with those in this on the internet, right? Or those that we call internet Indians, eyes. And I asked someone because they were speaking on the America's Egypt thing. And I say, well, what is your clan? And the person responded, I don't subscribe to any clans or religions. Now, I'm trying to figure out how they're indigenous to the Americas, to Africa, to Asia, to the water, right? How they're indigenous to the earth without a clan. Now, in defense of the person, I just seen this comment. Peace. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Much love. In defense of the person, because their profile picture is their ass, a lot of men came to their defense. And one of the men said, well, you must be African since you're speaking about clans. Our clans are our surnames, and my surname is Antoine of Santonio, or Antoine or Anthony the Saint. Now, that's that in the package. And here's my response to it, since either my comments are deleted or are overflowed by the mass of men that like to defend bullshit. So, number one, the first thing that was spoken on was her saying that she doesn't subscribe to any clans or religions. You don't subscribe to any clans or religions, but you believe that America is Egypt. Now, this is some crazy shit because in Egypt, in the Nile Valley, there was a clan system. There was an order which kept things flowing. The reason we as indigenous Americans, or those that call America our motherland, and those of us who have that connection back to Africa and call it the fatherland, is that that system tend to be more patrilineal. Let me explain. You have clan systems in Africa, like that which is in South Africa, which some may call the Izitaki Zili, and that is the clans. Now, in these clans, there are about 14 of them, the Zulu being one. Now, the Zulu are one, but the Kamalu are also a part of that clan system. Now, being that Shaka was born in a patrilineal clan system, but he was raised by his mother, Shaka was a Zulu, but Shaka's mother was something else. Now, she was Kumalu, which is why Shaka considered himself to be the great elephant. The elephant clan was his mother's clan. Now, the issue that people tend to have is being that they learn on the internet from people who learn on the internet, from people who learn on the internet, from people who learn on the internet, is that they've never taken the actual time to not only study their family, but find their family's place within this order. Please share this video to at least one person. If you're watching, please share this to at least one person. They're going to need this. Now, in the Nile Valley, when these men would have children, and in present day Africa, even today in patrilineal societies, These boys take the name or clan of their father within that tribal system. Now, when you speak of it in America, just like in Africa, you have matrilineal and patrilineal succession. So when I ask the question about clans, I'm speaking in general. However, in the Americas, I'm asking about your clan. Where does your family fit within this circle? Now, someone says, well, like the other guy, well, you must be African talking about clans, but my clan is Antoine the Saint, or Antonio the Saint, Anthony the Saint. But this comes from Europe. So a Negro came to defend someone, but that Negro also had no knowledge about how families function. This reminds me of a conversation I had with a group of people when I asked them about their clan system. And one of their response was, oh, he can't know what he's talking about when dealing with the Yamasi because he's talking about clans. And I'm sitting here like, wait, how do y'all call yourself a Yamasi nation or the Sabian Yamasi nation, but y'all don't have any functioning families? This is an offshoot of that. And here's why. You'll have people sharing information, you'll have people posting information, and all of these things and all of this beautiful stuff in hopes that they're educating people or educating others. It feels good to get a like. That's the dopamine. It makes you feel good. Hey, somebody liked my shit. Somebody shared my shit. So at that point, you no longer care about what's being shared. As long as somebody's taking it and flipping it, it's the dope game. You don't give a fuck what you selling. So you will sell it to somebody else who just need a high. It's about getting a high. Chiantamo, greetings. So what I don't get is why don't adults, and we're talking about people that are 30, 35, 40, 50 years old, that will get on the internet, see a European speak about America being Egypt. They'll take that, chop it up, mix their dark skin ideology with it, and then give it back to the internet, and everybody will eat it up. But once you ask them a serious question, like things that their family carried over from their disenfranchisement, which can help assist in proving that they are indigenous Americans, that question doesn't get answered. It becomes, why are you belittling them by asking them that question? What? Asking questions becomes belittling because you really want to know, why are you on the internet teaching? What qualifies you to teach? Remember when you were in school, you had a teacher, regardless of what they taught you, something had to qualify them to be in that classroom to educate you. So what criteria should we begin to hold these people in order for them to actually educate? And this to me is the I'm happy that they're banning TikTok. I hope they ban it. If they don't, I'll be upset for the simple reason that I personally feel like everybody shouldn't be teaching everything and everybody shouldn't be speaking about everything. Peace. And again, what it is perspective, right? I perceive it to be this way, so it must be this way. And even though you're telling me what it is, I'm going to close my eyes and ignore it. So if you call someone ignorant, they, oh, are you calling me ignorant? You're being mean, but you're ignoring the facts of the matter. So I'm speaking on the action. You don't care about how families are structured within this. What you care about is arguing or posting every day about, oh, these people are dark skinned, I'm dark skinned, so I must be indigenous. But that same the counter argument to that don't fuck with. Because the same people say, well, they dark skinned, they got to be African. You say, nah, dark skin don't make you African. So how the hell does dark skin make you indigenous? And then you get to the point, and I'm furthering down the conversation with all these people. Well, the copper tone people were the first people here. And my question is, who in the hell is calling themselves copper tone? Anybody? Was anybody in the chat? Anybody watching? Do y'all know anybody that was calling themselves copper tone before the settlement of Europeans?
Yoko nephew. Nope, nobody wasn't
Yoko
calling themselves that. Nobody wasn't calling themselves that.
So thank you for that. Nobody was calling themselves that. What those descriptions are for you to understand how they viewed the earth or the people of the earth. They didn't come to you and say, well, oh, well, shit, these are the such and such and such. Peace. They said, oh, these people are this color. These are the Negroes of the earth. These people copper color. These people olive colored. These people look like the Ethiopians, but not unlike the Ethiopians. So what they were doing was expressing to the world the view of the people that they seen. So we say this is how they describe, look at it to the world. Just that yesterday. So this is how they viewed us. But now when I start asking you, how did your tribal people view themselves? You have no answer. Because the only thing you study is his story about your people. So you come arguing and then you come denying because you don't have any people to sit down and talk to. And with those that do want to sit down or do approach you, the first thing you do is deny. So now you start an argument by even denying. You ain't say, well, let me take that into, or if I don't know, I'm gonna say I don't know and then go study and come back and we can have a conversation. But imagine not knowing and then arguing about what you don't know, believing that you know. That's a dangerous person. And for those that like America being in Egypt, that's an Egyptian quote for that ass. Ptah Hotel. So what for these people to teach? Why are there so many people teaching on the internet? So many people linking with people on the internet, but then you don't see their own blood family there. Why do they link with random people over the internet? Now they're not meeting in the flesh. Oh shit, cuz let me send you the link. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I'm shooting that to you right now. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Check your phone, cuz I just dropped that on you. So my thing again is peace. What or how should us or we, and you know what I mean by us and we, this does not include everybody. Those of us that do this for real, being that we're held to a certain standard, shouldn't we have or use that same standard for those that teach on the internet? And if we do that standard for them people on the internet or for those that are on the net, what should we say about those on the sideline that have something to say, that don't know but believe they know? You have Europeans saying, hey, you know, the Indians are Jews. Why they Jews? Because some of them look like they have fringes on and they build pyramid-like structures. So when they left Babylon, they had to come to the Americas. But then you have some that say, nah, they can't be the Jews. They got to be the Egyptians, because the Egyptians did leave and they had to go somewhere. And these are pyramid-like structures. And then you have those that say, no, 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 they're not the Jews nor the Egyptians. They're the Welsh. See, the Vikings came in, if you look at these structures here or this symbol here, it connects them back to the Vikings. But no, 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 Atlantis. No, 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 Lemuria. No, no, the Olmec. No, 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 the Polynesians. It's always somebody else that these people give the credit to. But if they were really indigenous Americans, wouldn't they be giving credit to the true indigenous Americans? What about when we speak on how America was first colonized? People claim tribes out here. And a lot of these tribes are modern day tribes. A lot of these tribes that you see today were created based off someone else's relationship with one, two, or a host of Europeans. So when someone comes over and say, well, damn, our God said we're promised this land and y'all got it. Can we come over? And you say, you know what? We don't know y'all God, but shit, it's some more land down there that you can go to and you can explore. These tribes begin a series of wars for so long. And within that time, they began to branch off and conquer different nations, branch off and divide different rivers, and branch off and become different groups by mixing in with the women of those tribes. By the time it comes on the boat, there's already been a civil war that literally encompassed the whole of North and South America. But how many people told you this story and actually know who did it? Those who may have told you the story say, oh, well, it was the Asians. And they like to blame the Asians. But these same people like to claim these same bloodlines and tribes of those that invaded and crossed over that river they later called the Mississippi. So when you say, well, this group of people came over, and they came over in so many ways between this time and this time, it was about a 300-year period that so many groups began to come out of this particular area. And when this happened, their language became or replaced the trade language that was already there. And then the majority of the people started speaking a new lingua franca or a new trade language. Now, this trade language also came in many dialects. So when the boats pull up, they hear you speak, they connect you to someone that you aren't genetically connected to, but they do this through linguistics. So what is linguistic anthropology? I won't answer that question. I'll leave you to answer that tonight. Write that down and take it with you. So now, 200 years after that, 300 years after that, someone say, well, when the Spanish pulled up, those people there were calling their chief Miku. And the people further in the interior, when we talk to them, they call their chief Miku. So they must be the same people, not understanding that Miku was a general term or a position for a person within every family, every town, every nation, and then there was someone on top of that. But you also had your Tuscanugi, and one would say Tuniqui. So they say, well, the words sound the same, so they must be genetically related. This confusion, which is now taught on the internet as is the reason people consider the Wale to be Muskogee. This fallacy, which is taught to be fact, is why people say, well, the Wale must have been of the Muskogean, or their language must have been of the Muskogean stock, because they sound familiar. And today, someone would claim to be Mississippian, Lumerian, Muskogean, Wale, Atlantean, and if you ask them what's their clan, they will tell you, I don't subscribe to any clans or religions. This is outsanity. No one in
Blasphemy.
their right mind would say anything like that. They would have taken the time to say, if I'm claiming to be this, maybe I should study it. The idea is never to know it all. The idea is to know enough. It's not to know it all, it's to know enough. One of my favorite quotes, and it's me, you have to have enough information to have the conversation. You have to have enough information to have the conversation. So imagine being in the classroom and your teacher's attempting to teach you something and you deny it based off the lack of information that you have. Greetings. Hello, beautiful auntie. So being that you lack information, you're willing to deny information, but you, like everyone likes to say, well, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And when you felt like you were ready, a teacher appears and teacher quizzes you, and obviously you haven't been in class. So let's talk about the worldwide clan system. Anywhere you go, there's a clan system. But why? There's not a human on the planet that doesn't have a genetic connection, but the issue is it's usually thought of as another human or a monkey, right? Things like that. But what happens if that connection is somewhere in the water? What happens if that connection branched off and became different things and different families, because there was a need to actually populate? And those later beings that tended to take form remembered what was going on and remembered the spirits that they carried. And though those spirits are now etheric, right? So it's now just animation, or that which creates animation, right? Because body shows animation, spirit is what creates, soul is what generates, right? So when these look at these spirits, they look at them as family. So each culture, each group of people, each clan, each family will tell you that they were able to shift or become one with these different beings. Now, this isn't indigenous to America. This is indigenous to Africa. This is what it is. But those who know not will take this and roll it up and dice it up and then speak on the Anunnaki and the Neteru and all these different beings, but from a European perspective. These same people will deny the Big Bang and they will call the Big Bang a theory. But each one of us got here because there was a comet that was going through a universe or another form of water, and it hit an egg or it hit a planet, and there was an explosion. And somehow this explosion created or brought forth the building blocks of life in mama's womb, which also happened above, right? And people were telling this story in four different ways. So that explosion that created one in the womb, same thing in the universe, this is the same thing that creates a thought. This is why when you think something great, the light bulb turns on from darkness to light. So when we get into the science of this, now we have to start ranking these people. Are they really qualified? You don't know your clan, you're not qualified. If you believe that clans are only African, you're not qualified. If you don't understand the science, you're not qualified. If all you can do is quote someone, you're not qualified. People call me their master teacher. The shit spooks me. It spooked me because I consider myself a master student, teacher. But it took my master teachers to say, hey, why are you doing that? You know that someone looks at you like you mastered this because you have. And that which you have mastered, you shall share with the students. And you shall show them how to master it just as you. So I don't want any followers. Just shoot me the master students. Those who are really willing to learn. Because I'm willing to learn from you. I have to. I don't know you. I don't know your family. So by dealing with you, knowing your spirit, I begin to what? Learn your family spirit. Your mother get on the line, your sister, your cousins, your aunties, everybody get on my platform when I'm not online. Everybody family be on here. We get to know you. Do we say, well, that's our family? No, but you could be. Who knows? We don't teach you anything that we don't know or that we haven't experienced. And we definitely encourage you to actually go to these tribal nations and attempt to find your family. Who knows what your family's true history is? Don't settle for township history. See, listen to me. Township history. Don't do that. That's generalizing. Find out who your people actually are. See, one thing that people have to do, and I'm going because I'm flowing because it's in me. So let me let it out. It says, I have a question. Where's the independent research of their own from that time they spent pouring through? And I asked that question earlier, but I formatted it slightly different. I asked, what's more important than having your own family documents? You'll spend $50 on Ancestry.com every month, but you have 6 aunties that are alive and breathing today. Why not go to auntie them and have auntie them sign a paper explaining the family disenfranchisement? Why not have auntie them just write couple sentences about what tribe they come from and how they know and who taught them, and then get that notarized? And why not keep that somewhere safe and sacred? Now you have your own family, right? Why not do that and then start keeping a census of your family every year? And why not take that and begin to hit me up and I'll tell you the rest? But there are things that you can do to make sure that your family is right and protected. The one thing you don't do is go to those on the internet that's going to teach you everything outside of how to deal with yours. Oh, well, the Hudson River, that's not your family. Oh, well, down in Mexico, if that's not your family, leave it alone. Oh, Atlantis, if that's not your family, leave it alone. Focus on your own bloodline and imagine and wait for the things that can open up. It's so much to learn about yourself. You wish to fill that void with learning BS. That's what it is. So I'll end it there for my 35. Anybody want to chime in?
Well said, nephew. Well said. And that needed to be said, you know. And my sentiments exactly when it said that TikTok need to be shut down because you have people that get up there and put up BS like it ain't nothing. And anytime you got Europeans giving out BS and niggas listening to it, that's wild. And it's like they was the ones that lied to you from the first place. Now you got niggas following in their footsteps, lying to you about America being Egypt.
Agreed.
Right.
That's
It's like
TikTok.
how you gonna
TikTok
yeah,
is a
go ahead. Yeah,
spookism.
like, yeah.
Facts,
Go ahead, cuz.
facts,
I
facts.
said TikTok is a machine of spookism. But definitely, man, if the people don't know how to take that message, as you just said there,
Yeah, I
and
must out
apply
on what
that
you
to
been speaking
family.
on, but I catch a little bit.
Oh yeah, I came in about 5 or 6 minutes ago,
Yeah, me
but
too.
I caught the gist, man. I already know I already know what was going down, and we gotta we gotta move away from this internet Indian bullshit because it's too much misinformation being spread. Uh, and that's why I think TikTok, I agree, TikTok need to go ahead and kick rocks. I don't use it no way. So,
Yeah, earlier. Y'all can hear me? What's up with y'all boys?
We're
what's
good,
going
cuz.
down?
Right, I just been I had tagged you earlier in something look or whatnot, man. It just like you got the I don't know if y'all ever know that dude named Gaddy. The Gaddy dude. You know what I talking about?
Yeah,
The
Gaddy
Jiffy
Green.
Fruit
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He proceeds to go on. I come across some bullshit earlier today. He he starts singing that damn Kumbaya song, right? And he says something about Hebrew, right? But I don't the shit funny to me because I get you. And if you from here, majority of people will tell you the only thing they saying is come by ya, my lord. Basically come by here. So I don't know where the hell he get the Hebrew or whatever
All
they
right, somebody
like.
here. I don't know where
Yeah,
they
that
be
he
making up
some
shit, man.
kumbaya. That the man basically saying kumbaya. He just sound like that because of the dialect and the way we
right,
sound.
right. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Fool ended up blocking me because I asked them, I was like, damn, bro, why you pronounce Wally like that, right? Because we pronounce it so many different ways, right? Wally, Gua, Iwa, Ipa, Apalachi. So it's so many ways that we pronounce it. But dudes say the Gal. He's like the Gal Indians
Yeah.
lived in. I said, what the fuck? Yes, I said, damn, bro, why you pronounce it like that? Son blocked me. He didn't even respond. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I remember full block me too. Right after
Yeah,
The
that nigga say the
gaddy,
gals.
the gaddy dude, the
yeah, the
gaddy
daddy
dude.
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Some guau. So what you say? What you
Yeah,
say? You say guau, guau. What?
he was saying the gal. Like, see, even if he was saying wow, I'd have been like,
Hmm.
you but you feel me? The gal Indians live
Yeah, yeah,
from such
yeah,
and such.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
said, what
like
the
Nile,
But you
Nile,
but
Nile.
but I'm gonna
but y'all
tell
know
you
what's
why
funny
though.
though?
Now, what? Go ahead, talk to me.
They are teaching to have followers. That's what they teaching for. It's like
What's
when
going on?
the dude well, I got more subscribers than you, and you don't have that many
Call it in.
subscribers, so I'm not gonna debate you. It's like, dude, like that's what you want followers. That's like the blind leading the blind. This like
Facts.
last night, the dude after the podcast was over, oh, we can sit down and have a log and have a debate. Dude, I don't need a debate with you. If you want to debate, go talk to the Spanish government, go talk to the French government, go talk to the British government. That's their fucking documents. If you got a problem,
Pa,
Chatu Pod and write that document.
Pa.
You got to go and get some
Yeah, yeah,
change too.
Hey,
yeah,
Pa.
nephew.
Then Denzel said in an interview they asked him about social media. He said social media. not media no more, because he said media, news media isn't even media anymore, because now it just becomes, it's not about truth, it's just a race to who get there first.
Yeah, it's entertainment. It's entertainment.
And that's just detrimental to everybody though, for real, because
Man, yeah.
he's a bunch of misinformation spread around on that shit, man. For followers and likes, that little bit of dopamine you getting from the internet, man, go get that thing in real life.
Bro. I ain't man. A lot of these niggas, bro, they don't even be outside, bro. Like it's a lot of people be on the internet doing what they doing, cause they can't go where they can't go where they grew up at. A lot of these people age like you can't like, and I say this all the time. Can't nobody tell me that these niggas they didn't let these niggas out to miseducate people during that COVID shit. And it hit hard because people needed something, bro. You get what I'm saying? They needed to get out the house. They can't go out the house. So you lock them in, and the algorithm is straight bullshit. So now niggas that was in the conscious community, they like, oh, these crackers gonna deport us. We gotta say we indigenous Americans. Let's bring Egypt to America. Is literally what the fuck happened.
Right.
And
And
then hold the watch, what? Well,
go ahead,
notice
go ahead, fam.
notice the niggas that always lead the turn be the niggas that go to jail for some sexual rapey shit. All these niggas go to jail for some heinous
Humbra,
shit. Every last one
Humbra.
of these gurus
It's
that
the
these niggas
same
look up
shit.
to
It's the
go to
Man,
same
jail for the
Texas story,
same
bro.
shit.
Humbra. Nephew, you ain't lying, nephew. You
that's
ain't
why
lying.
that's
That's
why
a
I'm about to
pattern.
see. That's why I'm
It's
about
a
to see.
definite pattern.
That's what I'm just about to see. I'm about to see they let them spread this misinformation. Then when they get off the gender that they supposed to be on, they bag them up.
They get them,
Pedophile,
bro.
all type
They
of
get
crazy
them,
stuff.
bro. This how they did AH. I ain't gonna say his name, but this
Yeah.
is AH. A nigga that was a person that was a nobody got enough money and funding from a group of people who didn't want to fight. They reminded him that he was mad at the right people. So they gave him enough power to take over a situation. This some hood shit. When he take over the situation, men start worshiping him because damn, the women worshiping him. We might as well listen to this nigga too. Zeke high. They go to, you feel? They go to, the Hitler was so powerful, he put the fear in men's heart. Niggas was pissing themselves and women was having orgasms when he spoke. But
Yeah.
whole time that wasn't him. That wasn't him writing that shit. That wasn't even his energy that was being put into that. But this is a machine. You get what I'm saying? This is a machine. Charisma. So I can mislead them as long as I give them what they want. They're mad. Let me feed on what they want. They want to be able to see themselves in the culture, but the only way they can do that is by way of the Nile Valley. So I got to take the pictures and the images of the Nile Valley and imprint them on their minds and give them some whole new information. This was going on. This is the same thing happened in the Bible. First Corinthians. This is why I would have smashed the preacher. First Corinthians chapter 1, verse 24 and 25. And we preach Christ crucified. To the Jews, a stumbling block. To the Greeks, foolishness. But to those who know the power of Lord, the Christ our God. So this, what they're doing, is some old shit. These people come take some information, twist it up, repackage it, get it back to you, and then resettle your stupid ass.
They
But
say
this
they
age
say
up. Go ahead.
they say that a saying go where you just say this now in the simpler terms be like you can't teach a old dog new tricks, but you can teach a new dog old tricks.
Facts. And these new dogs, these pups is hungry. They gonna suck the titty of the internet. They gonna feed. That's what they want. This why people think I be tricked. They be, oh, you troll. Oh, you be, man, suck your mama titty. That's how I feel. It is what it
You ain't
is.
lying, nephew.
You get on the
You
internet
ain't.
and the first thing you do is share some bullshit. And when someone say, huh, let me correct them properly. You don't want to be corrected because my perspective. You fucking 35 talking about my perspective?
Niggas be butthurt over somebody's opinion. Nah, we get down to the
And, and,
1800s.
and let me put this out there too, right? For the I and I. Because you go to a powwow, that don't mean you went to ceremony.
Dagger.
Yeah.
You need to tell that boy with that big ass head dressed up.
Who that? Who that? Nah, I must something. I not must something.
Man, nigga I say he from nigga I say he Wale. I swear to God, he had 600 feathers on his headdress. But
Huh?
what? You got
What?
600 bodies? Damn. You guys a serial killer, ain't you?
That boy, they cereal was an understatement. He said
That
he
boy a
something more.
demon.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
real
that's what he's a
demon.
demon.
Swear to God. That shit had me rolling. But again, like people need people need to fill the void. And the best thing that we can do as those who definitely have the little information we have, because we all know we still don't know shit. Even being raised, even if you were raised in it, you still are learning that which you've missed over the past 300-400 years. So when you're putting this together, you cannot repackage it without your family. Now, bro said something. Oh, LOL, this is too funny. Now, bro said something I wanted to go up. He said he was speaking on the matriarchs in his family. My brother went through something similar, and he's my brother because we got the same grandma. Y'all know how this go. Everybody, right? Right. So
Mhm.
when that happened, that transition, my aunt and my mother adopted them into the clan, or it figuratively adopted. That's their brother's child, but that's not their clan, right? So they brought them into the fold, and now they're learning our way. That's how family move. This is why get that in touch or get in tune, even if it's with a cousin, because if auntie is no longer here, Chiquesa, right? She has a daughter. That daughter is your mother's niece, which means technically she's your sister, which means her children are your clan children, which means that bloodline is still alive. Thank you. So that bloodline is still alive. There's no tussling, there's no wrestling. It's, hey, let me go speak to my family. Because, matter of fact, first let me sit down and think how I'm going to approach my family. Now I know how to approach my family. I'm going to sit down with those that I can speak with, and we're going to talk about rebuilding and revitalizing, because this is our bloodline. This is our family. We got the right to do it. You don't have to go outside to get permission to do something that was given to you by the creator. Well, I don't know ceremony. I don't know the medicines. Your grandma know all the medicines. Don't that chicken be good? Yeah. I bet you that shit wouldn't be good without all that medicine she put on that motherfucker before she fried it up, baked it, broiled it, whatever she did. But I don't know the dances. They stole my dances. Nobody stole your dances. I guarantee your family got a line dance or also still have a step that they do, which is somehow genetic, that carried on from grandmother to grandmother to grandmother to grandmother. So this is why the stories come through. This is why you see grandma still making the straw hats and all the things that we know are indigenous. But this is also how we get to find out about our families genetically. What did our families eat in the ancient world that they begin to eat later on, which causes them or cause their health to shift? What did our family do physically in the ancient world, which shifted and then caused the bodies to change formation? So when the crab, like turtle gang, say, well, African Americans don't look like indigenous Americans, I have enough science and understanding to say, well, there was a time the people you call it indigenous Americans weren't even here, number one. Number two, there was a crop that was brought here which actually changed the cranial structure of the complete eastern side of the Mississippi. So of course nobody from this time period would look like that time period, or that time period would look like this time period, because somehow, what's the saying that all our grandmas say? You better stop pigging, boy. You are what you eat. So
Facts.
when you start eating bullshit, when you start
Right.
eating down, when you start eating worse, you no longer look like the healthy, robust ancestors or ancient ones that walked the land, that ate directly from the water and only hunted and barely planted because the women knew how to make sure the roots were connected. So let's talk about braiding, right? They got to get it from the root. Let's talk about hunter gatherers. But then you take that term gatherers and you dissect it and say, wait, so our mothers or the women were actually the agriculturalists? So their role in the community was to supply the community with food and nurture the community. And the men would build, and that hunting aspect is to make them less than what they actually were. But these are men who had curies, rock curies, before people invaded the land. These are people that created their own canal system in order to connect different rivers, or people that already knew how to flood an area to create a new lake so they could have dry land in the place to live. How many people give y'all this science and actually know what they're talking about? None of this comes from a European. None of this comes from over there or over here. It comes from someone whose family experienced the same thing as yours. But you have to find the right people to talk to, and that people is your family. Nobody else. Then you learn about your family and start to put these pieces together. Then you go amongst different tribal people and sit down and bring your paperwork and see if your family fits in. And what can your family do or bring to help elevate what they got going on so you all can be in a better position? A lot of y'all are black on your driver's license. A lot of you are black on your birth certificate. But none of you are sitting there thinking to yourself like, shit, that's what they say. My family say this, so the family gonna write down this, and we go by this, and this is what it is. And this is how we properly correct that. Not as an individual, but as a family. Question. Have you heard of dental teeth? Okay, cupping as identifier. Yes. We're dealing with the teeth, right? And the science is unmatched. I put it in the book, in the Green Fire. But what happened to the Wale, or the people that became known as Wale, is as they started to eat differently, things changed, right? Their teeth were the way, or was the way that the anthropologists and craniologists saw the famine, saw the change in diet, We're able to see wars that happen. So all of this is actually identified through the teeth. It's also a reason that you hear these stories. You hear about these bones had tuberculosis, and out of and 80% of these bones, historically, somehow these people were anemic. And you say, well, which people got anemia or are anemic the most? And you find out 49.6% of the people are so-called African Americans. So what happened before settlement, which caused these people to become completely different than their ancient ones, which they were no longer the same by facial look, by recognition. All of this shit, all of this began to change. And all of this is proven by the teeth. So yeah, bro, that is how they know what happened on St. Catherine's Island. And for anyone that doesn't know, I'll say it. 8 out of 10 bones, that's my number. It was a different number that they gave, but my number is 8 out of 10 bones there were women that were in those mounds. So they have the bones of these women in their laboratory. And then they write about it and they say something like, it says, and I'm paraphrasing, but if you read Out of Florida, this is one of my favorite PDFs. It explains that the Gullah people, and this Gullah people was considered all of the indigenous, all of the Southern Americans, right? They have a matrilineal haplogroup which connects them to indigenous women. So through craniology, anthropology, dealing with what actually is through botany, they were actually able to trace that a majority of the people who consider themselves Gullah have indigenous grandmothers. So this story can only be put together by those who are qualified. It can feel like it's a lot. And the reason it feels like it's a lot is because often it's all over the place. But when it's actually structured and you're with other families and other tribal nations and other people who may be in tribal nations, and you speak as a collective and put it together as a collective, that's how you find your place. It start with you and your family, though. Again, y'all want to tap in, touch in on that? Questions in the chat. Is 10 viewers. If you all do any questions about the Wale and Yamasi, or in the East in general, or in the universe in general, if I don't know, I don't know. I don't know what they breathe on Neptune, so I'm sorry. I don't know. But anything to deal with this, if I know, I got y'all. So
All right.
You ever heard of David Ewan Jr. fabrication of history?
say it again, cuz.
I could read in the comments.
Okay, here we go. Ever heard of David Ewing Jr.'s fabrication of history? Of it, but I'm not astute, but I definitely heard of it. Questions. I'm outside for a little bit. Let's see what we get. I want to know about I want to know about uh okay, let me see. This Tartarian and old world order topic seems to ignore the native, and that's a fact. And here's the reason: because those that dealt with those things knew not about the Americans. So what they did was they tend to superimpose what they already knew onto a people they knew nothing about. Questions.
And that's why the stories must be rewritten.
Facts. properly,
properly.
properly,
Good.
because people putting stuff in books. Oh, this rock look like Tahuti. America is Egypt. Come on, bro. Really? Like, come on, bro. Like it's like Pa said. You upset that you were miseducated, but you then go and miseducate yourself again, and then add other people to it. It's crazy. It's insane. Excuse me. It's
Yeah,
outsane.
like we said, if America is Egypt, then where's Sudan? Where's Nubia?
Where's Armana? That's what I want to know. Where
What about Egypt?
which group which group of Native Americans spoke Suf? Which group of Native Americans can go to the Nile and go on the walls and translate the glyphs? None of these people claim to do that. The only
Facts.
people claim this to be fact are the Negroes on the internet who learned a little bit from Infandishi, then became a, you know what I'm saying? Post, woo woo woo. So again, for me, my whole thing is I know it be used to. I know what it's used for. It's the feel good information. People just want something that they could use to fill the void, but they don't care that they're filling it with BS. Oh no, Tartaria. Oh no, America's the old world. America's Egypt. No, America's the first Egypt. Nah. Athens is Greece and Memphis is Egypt. But ain't nobody ever asked these niggas. Well, if America is Egypt and Memphis, Tennessee is Egypt. My question is, what language does the word Memphis come from? Because now you
Dagger.
niggas, now you niggas is Greeks now. Oh, the Mississippi is the Nile. The Mississippi got 7 rivers that it split into. Incorrect. There's 7,000 rivers that connect and become the Mississippi River. It's a lot of information out there that niggas not, that a lot of people not actually studying. But no, America is Egypt and Utah is Judah. See, America is Egypt.
What?
America is Egypt.
Oh
And
man.
America is Egypt, and I'm an Olmec. What? Wait, huh? Yeah, but I'm an
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Atlantean. Hold on.
Hey,
Huh?
I'm a Lemurian.
So
Shit.
what? I'm about to say that I'm a Lemurian.
Like what?
Yeah. I'm related to
And
the Lemurians.
What's
And
going on?
Costco is the city of David.
Be cool. I can't wait to get my package too. Thank you for everything. Go ahead, see.
I said
Go.
they was talking about in Costco in Peru is Jerusalem. They got that from Horace Butler.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. They got a
Facts.
lot of stuff for
And
people,
even right,
man.
oh my God, dagger. So it says figuring out ancient Egypt is a modern fabrication, opens up a lot of doors. Dagger. Those temples people see in Egypt are modern. That's new shit. They're
I'm
recreating
not.
some shit that's further in the south.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. Damn, boy, they live inside of them?
they
Yeah, maybe
what?
we
They
should
them
build something like
houses?
that.
What?
Maybe we should build something right. We should build
Come
something like that,
on.
but better.
Come
Or
on,
try and
cuz.
make it better.
Man, hold on. They shit's got generators in them. So you know if we build one big ass one and then put two next to it, we could have a step up and step down transformer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How
They got
how
Optimus Prime, man.
how do they know
Uh-oh.
how do they know to use limestone on structures?
Uh-oh. Or how do they know to play music to certain tunes to make those stones float?
Hmm.
If we gonna talk about it, we can talk about it.
They
Gotta talk about
cause
it.
hey cause they say the beetle wing help them.
I couldn't hear you.
They say the beetle wings help them building pyramids.
Oh, the capital. What up?
Man, listen,
They
I ain't
studied
gonna
to be
lie. I wouldn't be surprised if they ain't have no type of technology, cuz.
right.
And we're not talking about what they consider ancient Egypt, like we're talking about this some modern shit. Let's talk about Napata.
Hmm.
Talk about the golden era of what the people rewrote in the Nile Valley when they spoke of the time where the gods ruled the land.
Mm-hmm.
But this was clan system too. This was red, white, and blue too. The Shimsu
Right.
Heru and the followers of Set. So even in the Nile, you have clan wars.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you have these clan wars. But Negroes will say, oh, well, I don't subscribe to any clans or religion.
Hmm. That's how I know they don't study their family. They too invested in other business. Facts. Hmm.
Bro, the fact that a nigga caught himself trying to snap on me, said you need to study your family, that really made me begin to fall back from a lot of people. One
I
thing
said,
I do want to do, I did forget, Allah, I definitely want to give you a personal shout out for purchasing my book, The Green Fire. Anyone that is listening, I did release the second book, The Green Fire, 2 weeks ago. If you would like to purchase it, you can DM me on Facebook or Instagram at Wale Origins. That's for the pack that comes with the incense, the green stones. It comes signed. You get the green highlighter, this sticky notes, all that cute stuff. If you simply just want the book, you can grab the book. It's now $60 on Amazon. So let's get back to regular scheduled programming. So see, it says, ever wonder why Freemasons have rooms dedicated to Egypt? Ever wonder why the Scottish Rite and Freemason build their buildings exactly like Egyptian style temples? Oh, excuse me, Egyptian symbols and structures. Now, here's the thing about that. Can somebody mute for me? What people tend to see as Egyptian is not necessarily Egyptian, but these are
right.
universal symbols.
Right.
This is why these symbols can be found around the world and they never deal with one specific group of people. And you actually
Right.
talking to somebody that sit in the East, for lack of better word. So what I'm explaining is, right, what you may see that people had taken from Egypt, there are things that they've learned from Europe and Asia
Mm-hmm.
and America that they put together to create their lodges. This is why they even get the term, right? So all of these master builder societies universally understood the same key principles. It's
Mm-hmm.
how they use that energy which makes us perceive them as being good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
which can sometimes be subjective unless there's forceful action. So these symbols that they use may not just be dedicated to Egypt, but to a specific energy. Here's my point. Did you know that the Luciferians also use the Ankh? But the Ankh to them is the sex symbol, which is, well, that's why they flip it upside down and they make it just the penis. But it's them. So somewhere else, you may say, well, the Ankh means eternal life. But then you may find what you consider an Ankh with 2 legs and cow horns, but it's still an ink. But that ink is an ewe or a cow, right? Heru. So that energy of that mother energy is not just her, but it exists in each woman. So they would use that symbol right? So that's how that comes together. That's where we go with the worldwide clan system. All of these clans are somehow related in the modern day, but in the ancient world, all of them were one, and it wasn't a human. Sorry, but yeah, I had to put that in there. It wasn't a human, but so yeah, all of these things, even each letter in the alphabet, right? All of these things hold a certain power. They all hold a certain frequency, a tone, or a vibration. So when they use them as a group, there may be a certain energy that they're trying to harness or a certain code that they're trying to provide to get certain things done. This is like gang culture. A red bandana everywhere doesn't mean the same thing everywhere. You might be white,
Might be a Mexican gang.
might be Norteño. So you know what I'm saying? So it's universal. You like then you see red, you think blood, power, life. So that idea is universal, but the people that use it to harness a power complete, in a different way. So it says Egyptian temples are all about electricity. Most of them are definitely about hydroelectricity. This is why they find the
Mm-hmm.
water around them, because
Mm-hmm.
it's that's the best form of
Aqueducts.
electricity, right? What's a better conductor than water? I don't know. But yeah, so they definitely were generators used to power those cities. But but there was somebody outside of Egypt that taught them about pressure and how to bring water into their cities. So while they were
Mm-hmm.
master electricians, they needed master plumbers to come in and show them how to make that water operate. This is why the Nile Valley is a created river if you actually study. uh
Mm-hmm.
I think I said too much.
Yeah,
I be
you
teaching,
hey, I was
man.
trying to I was trying to interrupt you. Hey, and I just want to say and I just want to say that this is a platform of enlightenment. So I just want to throw out there that Egypt is a young word. We can use way
Facts,
older terms than that.
facts,
We got to stop saying Egypt. Cause we
facts.
disappointing the people over there if there was a hitters.
And
They,
for me, I get it. This what these niggas use. So when I use Nakata and Nafada, no,
mm,
I'm talking about them boys. So like
right,
cuz say, when I say Egypt, just know it's talking about the little shit. Like, so
right.
for instance, he said Aswan, Aswan Dam. Aswan is Nakata. That's a part of Nakata. That's the true ancients. But that was a land that's now being recovered because so much is under sand, right? And again, all of this be fact said
Quran, study the Quran.
for 157. They are lying. They did not crucify nor kill Jesus, the son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. That's my favorite thing to read in the Quran. But yeah, man.
Right,
Anybody else
right.
got anything else to say? It's time for me to get right. My wife on the way, so y'all know me trying to. I'm making that, and y'all ain't never had what I made. Real nigga spaghetti with neck bones.
Oh man, nah, that's something new right there. I ain't heard that. That must be a Miami thing right there, boy.
Ah, ah. Hey, I said niggas be doing everything, anything they get a little bread. There you go.
Right, right.
You see, you make a spaghetti what?
With
With
some
neck
neck
bone.
bone. Some spaghetti do this some neck bone. Hell nah.
That man
She
just
probably
doing
snap on my
anything.
ass in hell, boy.
Hey, you smother them neck bones, you gonna have some gravy, boy.
Alright, chill out. I definitely might have to. It be already rolled up too. Might as well go ahead and
Right,
take a little break in.
right. Right.
Before
In
I
the
get
morning, I'm gonna
right.
get on this good Aussie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, your stomach good, boy. I don't
I'm
know how
He
trying
you
to
on
tell
do
that
it,
you.
ice.
bro.
Woo!
I don't know how you do it.
I'm
Need to
trying to
go
tell
ahead and
you,
get
bro.
prepared.
I don't know how
Nah,
you
it's
do
just
it.
hey, that stomach hit different over here, man.
Let me see. Hey, Pa, can you hear me? Let me see. Pa still on here?
It looked like it.
Let me see. Oh, he probably ain't by his mic. I was gonna ask him a question about the clan system and how it worked for the Yamasi. It ain't. I know it ain't different than I, especially not too much different
Right.
in the functioning. But I at least wanted others to see, to get a slight perspective of
Right.
how it may be from somebody else POV.
Right.
On me, I did send you the link. If you watching, I sent you the link to Instagram. If you want to click the link, and if you would like to share a few words about how it worked for the Okanichi, that will also be helpful. So people can understand again, this is about this is bigger than us, right? And this information shouldn't be limited. Southeastern Talking Stick. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all had a beautiful video last night. But yeah, like this is not just about us. People have to get in tune with their families. And then, like I said, come amongst the people, man. Sit and share. Learn with the people. You know what I mean? Like put this together, help put it together for your family. If you're the one who the mantle was passed to, grab that mantle and just set the blaze, light that fire in the rest of your family members and bring them together. July 25th, we will be at Kolamoki together. I definitely hope a lot of you RSVP. We still have about 25 slots, only 5 people RSVP, and I understand why it's early. You still got to see who coming, who you can get to travel with you. No one wants to travel alone. Just to clear up any misconfusion, yes, ceremony will be taking place, but for those tribal members, right? Let's get that out there now.
Facts.
um, if there are any tribes, I know we'll be out there. Our council will be out there. The some people from the Yamasi will be out there. Hopefully the Okanichi will be out there. We do have some Appalachi and some Shata Ogla that will be there. Shawnee. So there will be about 3 to 4 other people that are part of different tribal nations, which you may find yourself, right? So look at it like a college, what they call it, cuz a college fair. You get
Right.
me?
Right.
Bring your family, bring your information, come hang out, bring your stomach, come chill. Y'all gonna learn certain things. There's certain things that you can be taught outside of, right? Come enjoy yourself. Come get your behind whooped and ball and and kickball. You want to play kickball? We play kickball. Come get whooped and kickball. But come enjoy yourself. Go to these different powwows and enjoy yourself. Even though, like Unc said, that don't mean you went to ceremony. Just go enjoy yourself. Sit down and watch how people operate. Get used to seeing yourself in that role. Let's see what we got. Paul, you wanna?
Yeah, I'm here, nephew.
Hey, I got a question. And I'm gonna timestamp this. So, uh, I wanted to ask, how do clans work for the Yamasi? Just so people can have an understanding of how it works from your point of view, or y'all, from y'all POV. Because I don't want them to just have the Wally point of view. It would be nice if you could drop something on me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the clan system is based on the mother, you know, and not only is it based on the mother, but you also have the totem that it comes from. It's not dealing with the surnames as some people think it is, but you can have surnames. You can have many surnames under that totem or that clan or that totem.
Facts. So, can you give us an example, or would you like to give us an example?
All right. Well, my clan is Kawatali. You know what I'm saying? So we have many surnames that's under the Kawatali. You know what I'm saying? So that's dealing with my clan. You know, and I say that clan within my tribal language, dealing with the Hichiti. But you know what it is. But I'm not gonna tell
Right.
everybody what clan it is. But I already see it. So
I
you know,
I don't want nobody to
it-
take it and go put it in their you feel me? Go post it, talk about that's theirs. But
yeah,
so like basically what he's saying is okay with these surnames, right? Say somebody say, okay, you have Panther, but in relation to that Paul, you have Bear family. So Bear family are cousins, they're related, but it's still a relative, right? So it's not necessarily uh matrilineal, it's not mother's family. So still one wouldn't be able to deal with Bear family because down the line that's auntie family or it's that broke off from grandma lineage, right? So that means that the baby or the child or children will have to seek outside of that totem, that emblem, or that clan spirit for a mate or anything dealing with that. So it's kind of like in today's world, can really, but not really. But if you're a Davis or you're a Smith or a Wilson, you would try your best to stay away from someone with that similar last name because there may be relation. This is the same thing with the clan system. You stay away from someone who has that name because there's relation. So Kawiyapi, right? The
yeah.
jumper.
And if they say what spirit animal they clan is of, don't touch it.
Then dagger. So with us, what we do is, or what we say is, this is the family name. The family name comes first. So while it appears as a surname, this still a family name. So you won't find anyone in my family whose name is deer or bird or snake or this because the family name or the family spirit is already there. The action of that family spirit is technically the first name of the person, right? So you would say the horned leaper, right? Because in most places, the cat or certain cats are considered jumpers and leapers, and they have action. Same thing with a snake. It's not snake. It may be something that shakes or something that slivers or something that rattles or something that rolls. Hint, hint. So this is how the language structures are built. So when you have these spirits and you show up to ceremony or you show up to council, that familiar spirit is not only seen in the council house, but it's seen on the house and markings and in the everyday dress. So when someone says, I don't subscribe to that, then there's no way that you can consider yourself a part of when this is the order that was set in place by the creator. Before we do end, I'll leave it open for 30 seconds. That should be enough time to type something up. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and take it in. Mont, Reem, y'all got anything to go over to talk about tonight?
No, I ain't got nothing right now, cuz.
Nah, you touching on everything right now. I'm with Crane on most of the stuff. Get with us on in the back chat type stuff. As far as the clan systems
You
go and everything like that. If people want to know how to figure that stuff out or want to know how people find that, there's many different ways, like he said. But definitely,
yeah,
uh, there are people that can help you. You got your local libraries, you got your family, but definitely go to your family first. Learn their nicknames. Find out what everybody's nickname is. What the people used to get
Got
called
a couple
throughout the
questions,
fact.
family.
cuz.
Yeah, I'm viewing them right now. I was letting Cuz finish out here while he build.
Yeah, go ahead and check out. Talk to your family. They know the most stuff. The nicknames mean something.
Facts. So if there's a way or a reason the family had to identify themselves to the federal government, the families actually have their own papers such as rolls and documents that show who they are. The family also has a constitution which is viewed and is a treaty with other families. Um, that's that, right? And the state is also the same. So, like for instance, I tell the story about me in court all the time. I really wish not to explain it again. But that's how you do that, right? Now, here's the key to that. Before there was a federal government, how did clans identify? That's a great question that I will answer. Markings, words, syllables, and signs similar to Masons clans had and used to identify themselves amongst the world. Only in America does a tribe have to be federally or state recognized in order for them to be identified on the federal paperwork. But if we deal with our cousins that we do have treaties with that may international treaties with that may be in Brazil or Cuba or these other places, we don't deal with the federal government. That is a great question that you asked. That's on the screen right here. It says I was going to ask about some of the First Nation treaties. Any thoughts on them? Me personally, my view on First Nation treaties is I think they're all null and void, and I'll tell you why. The people that are considered the First Nations are not the First Nations. In fact, they invaded the lands of the actual First Nations. So the Iroquois Confederacy, those groups, the Lenni Lenape, and those groups that they broke off into basically pushed the original inhabitants further into a corner and then began to sign treaties with different European powers. So we, as the original, or those who were here by any name, the Talagiwi, the Taliga, the Yuba'a, the Iba'a, the Ikwa'a, the Yama by a certain time period, the Yamasi by a certain time period, all of these different names of people were already here before that invasion. So I think they're all null and void. Now that's a fun topic. Nice. I did a video about that. I think it's 2 days ago. So if you can watch my video called "Digging Up the Bones," and digging up the bones I go over the different wars that was going on. So like for instance, what we do is we dealt with stories that we got directly from the tribes or stories that they co-signed or that they put down or told to others, and then we built the actual timeline. So with the Lenape, you have a time period, let's say, and this is give or take, this is them give or take, right, from 800 AD to about 1000 AD did they first ever even cross into the valley region to that miss to across the Mississippi. So they were already fighting on the Ohio River or fighting coming into the east before they crossed the Mississippi. Now I want you to read the book, The Invention of the Creek Nation in chapter 1. What it's going to explain is that the creeks came in many waves, and this began around the Mississippian era. So this is why we consider the Mississippians invaders, because like the Lenape, the Creeks left their homeland in order to seek and destroy a land which was not originally theirs. But why? You had famine, volcanoes were going off, wars, Yellowstone was erupting, new people were coming down, slaughtering and eating people. So they had to get out the west and they came towards the east. So with these different groups of Muskogee, the Kushida, Kowida, Kusa, Chickasaw, right? All of these groups began to cross over and set up in the east. But then you have the Lenape, the Blackfoot, all of these different groups, or who they call the Blackfoot, but that's because they suffered something, right? The Cheyenne, all of these groups of Lenape began to invade the northern region. So while you're here in the east, you get word that Cahokia has just been invaded because Cahokia predates the Mississippian era. So with Cahokia predating the Mississippian era, you have an invasion on a land, and then they give Cahokia to the Mississippians. So this is insane. So it says, okay, rule only applies to, and again, me personally, I feel like anything that deals with anything that says First Nations and it's not dealing with those who were on the east side of the Mississippi before the invasion, I feel like it's done improperly, it's wrong, and it's definitely with the wrong people. So while this is going on, you have groups that are leaving the South, going up to the North to assist the invaders. And these people who are assisting the invaders say, hey, well, when we got up there, only they were there. So they the grandfather to all the people. Whole time you come from somewhere where people already were, as they even watched you come into the land. So this story that can be told, but unfolding it will cause a lot of problems for a lot of people who are considered First Nations, as they teach that what they came across the Bering Strait from the original Turtle Island, and then they traveled down Snake Island and began to branch off and head to the east, the northeast, and some down into the south. So when you read their story from their perspective, they tell you that they're invaders. But then when we say, well, they're invaders and this is how we can prove it outside of their story, then it sets the stage for what truly happened once the Europeans start settling, who was doing business with them, and why were these people selling or giving away lands that they claimed wasn't theirs and eventually went back home 300 years later. If anybody wants to talk about it, we can,
And now
but
this
not
the
here
thing that
tonight. So
this
you
the
can go ahead and clear it out. They not gonna get it from me. You could
this
clear it out
this,
before I jump
this
off.
the thing that you they say that the First Nation, yeah, they're the First Nation, all right. They was the first nation to be invaders. So that's dealing with that because the First Nations was mound builders. Now, you let me know what nation was mound builders.
And it wasn't them, because when they were asked who built the mounds, what did they say?
I don't know. We
We
don't
don't
know.
know. We inherited them. So the Shawnee say, yeah, we never built Serpent Mound. The Cherokee say, yeah, we never built Etowah. We never built Tougaloo. We never built Okmulgee. So how do you get in possession of things that you never built? So when you go to Okmulgee Mounds or Okmulgee, when you go to the mounds and they tell you that, hey, the woodland people were displaced by the Mississippians, and you call yourself a Mississippian, then your people aren't the original people that was at that mound. Your people are the invader. And it's okay because that's your bloodline. But don't be claiming to be a mound builder when your people took it and settled it. Kolamoki is thought of as a Mississippian mound, but it predates the Mississippian era. Etowah predates the Mississippian era. You can Google our actual tribal name and it'll tell you our town is a Mayan town, but the town predates the Mayans by 3,000 years. No, excuse me. A building in the town predates the Mayans by 3,000 years. So the town has to be older than the building. The First Nation invaders. That's who they are. The First Nations of invaders. You're right. That's exactly who they are. They literally left their land and said, let us destroy. And they literally went back to Yellowstone. They met with the Mingwe, who became the Iroquois. They met with the Muspa, who became the Muskogee. And they said, we got enough people to invade the river. We'll take the north. You will take the south. And as they did that, certain priests said, hey, the only way we can stop this is by unifying everybody in ceremony. So the Yama priests took the Yuchi priests, who used to be in at the Temple of the Sun, and recreated a ceremony which was once ancient but was only practiced amongst the Yama and the Yuchi. They gave this ceremony to all of these different groups, which you now know as green corn today. But they had to give it to them to calm them down. They had to give them corn to calm them down. They had to give them ceremonies to calm them down. Because had they not, they would have eventually crossed the mountains and then tried to continue to conquer the Southeast. But they ain't crossed the mountains until later, which gave the Southeast enough time to rebuild. So this is a story that can really be talked about, but I only want to talk about it with Turtle Gang. He's the only one I want to talk about it with. Because he said that I have enough information to destroy what he's been working on for 30 years. So he's definitely the one that I want to talk to about it with. That's it for me. Everybody else good?
Yeah, nephew. I
For
was on
sure.
the phone
Everybody.
when you said.
For sure. Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Please leave a like on this video. Trust me, as soon as I stop the video, they're going to say I had 0 views. So I need all you to just come back and leave a like. And please just watch the video for 4 seconds so I can get this precious view that you had. You all were wonderful tonight. Much love. Thank you. I'll be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock doing the same thing. I'm going to read something and we'll build about it all day. Much love again. Call your answer. Call your people. Call your auntie. Call your cousin. Call your big cousin, little cousin, uncle. Call somebody in your family, man. Get this stuff together. Do it right. Do it right.